Hello and welcome to a very fun segment of Brunch with CXOs. We're really excited to come here at Tiger Yaki's for our very first episode. So, let's go. Hello and welcome to our very first segment of Brunch with CXOs. We're really happy to have on board with us Karan Sharma, the co-founder of Tiger Yaki. We're really delighted to have you on board with us today, sir. So to start with the questions, I would like to ask you how Tiger Yaki actually came into existence and what was your journey till date?
So Tiger was actually started by a friend Rahul, who's also a chef. He has worked at a couple of restaurants and hotels across India and the globe. And he saved up every nook and penny in his early days. And as everyone's dream as it is that for them to start their own cafe, right? So Rahul wanted to start his own cafe. He wanted to experiment with Korean and Japanese food, and it was an experimental product as well for us, right? So we came up with the first outlet at Bandra, and rest is history. We have 3 outlets right now. They're all profitable, and we're doing touchwood fairly well. So yes.
That is amazing. So while even looking up about Tiger Yaki and going through the Tiger Yaki's things on Google and everything, I looked upon the logo of Tiger Yaki and it seemed very eye-catching and interesting to me. So can you please give a brief about how that came into existence as well?
Yeah, so it's actually a very funny story. Rahul is not a creative person. Again, Rahul worked on the creative part from the past as well. And he loves tigers in general. He's got a tattoo as well on his hand, which is from long back. And he was just sketching around with this pen and trying to figure out what the logo could be and stuff. He made like a very dirty sketch. I probably have a photo somewhere on my phone as well. I'll try sending that if I can. He sent that to the designer like, this is really bad, Rahul. And then she said, let me think of a cub, and that's how came up with the logo of Tiger Yaki.
Oh, that is
accidentally, of course, yeah.
That is pretty interesting. So while going through the menu of Tiger Yaki, I saw it is a very interesting menu, honestly. And if I come with my friends, that is something that if I look and go through the menu, I would like to try every single thing. Everything looks so tempting, honestly, in the menu. So tell me, what is the co-founder's favorite and what is it that you actually love in the menu?
For me, I really love the fried chicken tenders. It's genuinely really tasty. It's something I can eat as well wherever and whatever time that I go. And we also do a lot of music festivals, where we have the chicken tenders on menu because I decide the menu. Yeah. So that's something that I love munching on whenever I can.
All right. So talking a little bit somewhere else about, if not Tiger Yaki. So you also have another brand as well as Jiffy, that is the healthier side of noodles and also steam up foods that you serve. So how was the shift with actually opening a restaurant after producing all of the food items that you already did?
Okay, so steam up was a packaged product. It was frozen momos, and during the COVID wave, frozen product were doing really well, of course. People are picking up anything and everything during COVID, right? So that was fairly well. I exited that company in 2022, and Jiffy and Tiger is what we're doing right now. Jiffy is a healthier alternative as well. It's healthy ramen as well. So I mean, from the past, we've learned. I've learned a lot of things in terms of cuisines. Tiger for me was also very accidental. It wasn't planned. It wasn't like I wanted to join him, and neither did he come running to me and stuff. It's just that one of the early days, one of the cashier wasn't there at Tiger Bandra. So Rahul called me up saying, bro, can you come? And I used to live in Andheri East back then. So I would go on the weekends, I would be the cashier, taking orders, punching the bill. Rahul, give those orders to Rahul in the kitchen. He'd be, cooking those and then getting it served to the customer. So that's how it started. Eventually to a point where he said, Ki, why don't you join me full time? I said, Ki, sure, why not? And I was also working at a company called Wild, which is a social currency card, and one of the founding team members there as well initially. And then I left that because Tiger seemed more interesting for me. And food is something I love in general. So, I was like, why not?
Okay, that was an amazing answer, honestly. And I would like to know that recently, in few years, Korean and Japanese influence over India has taken over, and there's a lot of like Gen Zs that have started to look into Korean and Japanese, not just food but also the pop culture and everything else as well. So was it also a phase for you? Because it certainly was a phase for me as well. So how did you came through that and then?
So I think right now the Korean wave is on a high. Right now, not just with food, not just with shows, even with skincare, right? The Korean skincare is booming. Like the market is heavily booming, right? So I feel the last wave that actually happened with India was the Chinese food, right? So if you look at Chinese food, it's there at every nook and corner in India right now. And even at homes, people love eating Chinese, right? I feel Korean wave is going to be bigger than that for sure. And we are, I mean, hopefully here to stay for that long, to understand, with competition catching up as well. That's something we're looking forward to.
That's amazing. Also, I would like to know what is the secret ingredient that you actually put in for Tiger Yaki to make it better and to make it a little more authentic on the Korean and Japanese side?
So we've Indianized the taste a little to the likings. We were originally serving authentic Korean food, but we realized that our audience does not really like authentic food. There are fine dining places for that, but the kind of audience that we cater to, which is more of college kids, people eating on a daily basis, they don't want to eat the authentic food. So we've Indianized the taste a lot, is what I'd call it. And all the credit goes to Rahul for that, because he's the chef, so yeah.
So following up to what you just said, you mentioned that you actually listened and heard your audience, that whatever they were actually giving the feedbacks about. So how do you plan on taking your feedbacks from your customers every single time that they come? So how do you take that?
So I mean, if I go back to feedback, when we started on Zomato as well with deliveries, which is again 6 months old, we didn't start it long back because we didn't have the bandwidth, right? Like we were packed all 7 days as well. We started with deliveries. Our ratings were 3.3 out of 5, which is really bad. Like I was like, dude, this is not my restaurant. This is not our place. And Rahul wasn't in India, so I couldn't even call him and tell him that, bro, I'm so sorry. This is what is happening, right? So we worked on feedback. We kind of understood why, there was food leakage that was happening. It was the monsoon, so the bags were getting wet. They were, the food was falling out. We were putting drinks, kombucha, everything inside the bag. So we worked on a polythene thing. We worked on like a sleeve. We worked on a lot of things. People want gravies to be packed separately, so we started doing that for a couple of dishes as well. We discontinued the dishes that were getting really soggy because our food goes soggy. So we stopped all of that. We went down to like a 60% menu compared to what we have at the outlet, and we're working on that. So now we're sitting at a 4.1, hoping to grow, which is again what we grew in like 3 months. So yeah, from 3.3 to 4.1.
That is amazing, honestly. So you're quite young, honestly, to have so many brands, have to actually start with a restaurant and follow your passion in the industry, the culinary industry. So I would like to know how you balance your professional life as well as your personal life.
If you're running a company, there is no professional life. You have to incorporate it with the way you have your life. Just love what you do, enjoy what you're doing, and other things will catch up. I mean, there are a lot of sacrifices as well. I mean, Rahul and I don't have weekends like other people, or probably, I mean, we don't go back home on a Friday evening and be like, "Ki chalo, weekend hai," and stuff, right? Because our weekends are like a usual. Our weekends are usually like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for like a regular audience, right? And because we're also open 7 days a week, it is, I mean, we have to be available. We need to be on call. If something goes wrong, some staff issue happens, some electrical equipment issue happens, we need to be there for that. So yeah.
So being in the food industry for so long, it is also very this thing that when you go out to eat, all right, and you're like very hungry, but then when you taste the food, do you turn into a food critic because you have a restaurant now, or do you actually enjoy the food and not think about the business aspect at that time?
I mean, if it's the entrepreneurial mindset to it, you kind of calculate, right? Like you're like, okay, how many, let's say if I go to a pani puri wala, like I calculate, okay, how many people are eating in like 1 hour, right? Yeah. For example, I multiply that, then I calculate, oh my god, she's earning so much per day. I mean, that's for a lot of cuisines as well, of course. But I mean, yeah, whenever I am going somewhere and stuff, and I do sometimes have a couple of feedback for the food, but then I don't give it to the owner there because they don't care about feedback. And that's something I work on, that let me not be them, let me work on my own set of feedback.
Right. Yeah, that is amazing. So you mentioned pani puri.
Yeah.
So I would like to know, what is your favorite Mumbai street food?
Mumbai street food, I'm allergic to curd, so I can't have half the chart things, by the way. So yeah, pani puri is something I can have, and that's also not in the monsoon season as well. There's a store which is outside Neelam Foodland in Bandra. I have a pani puri wala there because they use safe water and stuff. So I usually go there, restaurant. I don't trust the random street vendors because I don't want to fall sick.
Okay, that explains a lot of things, honestly. Yeah. So Tiger Yaki has quite a social presence. I've seen Tiger Yaki over my reels. I've seen Tiger Yaki on YouTube Shorts as well. So how does it impact on the business having a social presence, and is it really a necessity these days?
So have I told you that we have more than 10,000 salespeople at Tiger Yaki? Is that why you've heard of us?
Yeah, no,
You've not heard of this? Okay, so I mean I have an answer for that. You can go to our tag section as well on Tiger Yaki. You'll see people covering Tiger Yaki organically. Right? Those are our salespeople. That's what I call as a salesperson, right? Those are people talking about a brand that they love. People I haven't paid, right? People who are coming here, they're paying 100% of the food amount, whatever it is, right? Talking about the brand to their friends and so on and so forth, right? So that's how I would give this thing. So for us, social media is very important. As a brand, we spend zero on marketing. We've not done any ads so far. We've done organically whatever we've done. We work with a lot of brands. We work with Nykaa, we work with McCain's, we work with a couple of other brands as well, where we tap into their community and and we do a lot of exchange and stuff, and we do events and stuff with them as well. So yeah, for us that's a bigger and a more happening space.
That is amazing that you haven't spent anything on marketing.
It's a tough space,
Actually, because me as a finance student, we learn about marketing as well when we study about it. So it's very interesting to know about a brand that is actually in the market as well as not spending much on marketing. That is amazing. So speaking of social media, in the food industry, you must have gone through about reels where they're trying weird food combinations like Oreo Maggie or Fanta Maggie. So what is your opinion about it?
I've tried pineapple on pizza, so I know it's disgusting. So I'm no one to comment on these questions. I'm just going to back out with that. But I'm pretty sure that there is a market to it. I'm sure people are eating. I had pan recently with a friend Pankaj at Warsaw. There was Oreo pan. And in my head, I was like, who's going to eat an Oreo pan? That guy just said, sir, ये online में बहुत order होता है. So I was like, wow. And I was understanding his business because it was a big shop. I'm like, भैया आप सिर्फ पान से कैसे कमा रहे हो, इतनी बड़ी दुकान है and all that. He like, अरे मेरी दुकान है, मुझे काम से कोई कुछ करना नहीं है and all that stuff. But I mean, yeah, but data speaks otherwise sometimes. There are weird people probably sitting at home ordering this, probably not eating in front of their friends and family, but like they're ordering a pan Oreo. I mean, yeah. So yeah.
Absolutely. So you probably have tried a lot of different variants of food and a lot of different dishes as well. So what is that one food item which is for you is like a culinary hug when you actually need to like try something?
I mean, people would usually say dal chawal probably on camera, but like I would say butter chicken because I really love butter chicken from Delhi specifically, because Bombay food for some reason is not that great. Delhi food is just like kick-ass everywhere I go and eat. So yeah. So yeah, it's butter chicken for me.
So again, a very subjective question. Do you prefer Delhi street food or Mumbai street food?
Delhi street food.
And what is that is your favorite from like Delhi street food?
Again, I would just say pani puri because the taste there is really well, and I'm limited to options also with chaat, right? So I can't have a lot of it. But I mean, any day I prefer like a chole bhature and stuff in Delhi over like something in Bombay as well.
But pani puri there is called golgappas.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I've grown up all over India, so there are different names to foods in different places, so yes.
So I would like to ask you about a childhood memory that you have in the food industry that has like helped you shape your journey right now and your passion as well in the food industry.
So I mean, I've actually grown up all across India in 8 cities in India. My dad was in the Indian Navy, so I've been a nomadic child. So I've actually grown up eating a lot of cuisines at home, right? Like whether it was me growing up in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, to me growing up in Kerala, me growing up in Tamil Nadu, me growing up in Andhra. So I've actually had like a taste of like the entire Indian cuisine, I would say, as well. So that has genuinely helped me in understanding. And we've always had a domestic help at home, right? Someone who's cooking authentic food and stuff, right? So I've had different experiences, what I would call it, at home itself. And also throughout the year, I look at festivals coming, like let's say Onam Sadhya is going to be coming. So I know there's an Onam Sadhya coming. So I'm excited for it and stuff. So me as a foodie, I'm really happy throughout the year that okay, this is what is happening and stuff. So yeah, so that keeps me really excited.
That is wonderful. So my mom is from Kerala, and we just had Onam pass away.
Yeah,
so
correct.
Yeah, we have the Sadhya every single year going on. So what is like the one food item that you like from Sadhya?
I like the paisam a lot. Yeah, I'm not a sweet tooth person though, but paisam is something I really enjoy having, and I mean also not a lot of it, but like in like limited where I don't feel like I'm having a lot of it. It's just something where I probably have like half a katori and I'm happy with it. So yeah.
So like the palada paisam or the other one?
I can't recall the names, but it is the brown paisam that I've had.
Right,
Yeah.
that is the palada.
Yeah. Okay. Probably.
That is amazing. So tell me, what is the best part about working at Tiger Yaki for you?
I think for me it would be attending festivals and also knowing the lineups of artists coming throughout the year. So I knew Coldplay was coming 6 months back, and I kept telling people, and they're like, ha, Karan Sharma and this, that, and all that. Also, I had a bet with my friends at when Ed Sheeran was performing last year. I told them Diljit's also going to go on stage. And I put like a 1,000 rupee bet with like 10 friends, and they're like, no, it's not happening and all that. And I was there during sound check because we had a stall there, so we were setting up and we know what's happening, right? As well. So yeah, the organizer also told, yeah, Diljit's coming for one song and stuff. I said, great. So I won that bet. But yeah, for me it would be events because I get to go places and like travel and stuff and all that. It's also really hectic, of course. But knowing Lollapalooza's lineup and all way before it's coming out and stuff is, for me, that's like the cooler part.
That is quite of a flex amongst your amongst your friends. So you mentioned that you have traveled a lot in your childhood as well. And do you actually enjoy traveling? And do you plan on traveling every 6 months or whatever it is for you?
I kind of have vacations is what I'd call it, not vacations, not like staycations, vacations. And we're also in the middle of fundraising right now. So, post that we will be expanding as well in places in Bombay first and Pan India after that, right? And stuff. So for us, that's very important for us to know where we need to expand and go next and stuff. So yeah, I would just say probably vacations because it's more fun. I don't like sitting idle with anything. I don't watch Netflix. I don't get the time also, but like I watch more of documentaries and stuff. So for me, that's more relevant.
So being in the Korean and Japanese food industry, do you also watch the K-dramas or the Japanese dramas or movies?
I haven't yet, but my flatmate works for Netflix. And he told me that Netflix has seen a 400% increase in Korean searches and stuff. So yeah. Also, I haven't really made like good, cool friends who will tell me what to watch. So that's the problem. I'm just so busy with work, bombarded with work and stuff. So yeah.
I am a big fan of like the Korean culture and K-dramas and everything. So that's why I was really excited for this interview as well, and for Tiger Yaki as well, because to have something so authentic to serve the food and the taste that I'm actually looking up every single day when I go home and I'm like, I want to watch something, and I just open my Netflix and I'd be like, I put on a K-drama per se, and then I'm like, oh, I want to munch on something that they're munching on, and it's accessible. So it's like very exciting as well overall. So that is amazing. So talking a bit about financial aspect as well for Tiger Yaki. So there, being in the restaurant chain, there is obviously a lot of food waste that happens. So how does it actually feel as a co-founder? Does it feel like your hard-earned money going away, getting in vain? So what is it, the feeling that?
So luckily everything that we produce at Tiger is fresh, right? So our chefs also know what is the trend. So for example, we have SOPs in place where they know Monday to Friday kitna crowd aega. They know how a Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be, how a holiday is going to be. We understand trends where if it's a festival coming, let's say Shraddh is on right now, right, while we're speaking. So we know that the footfall is going to be lesser anyways and stuff, right? So we cater and we call for stuff accordingly. And because we call for stuff fresh, there's a less than a 0.5% of wastage of food. And even if, let's say, a customer is, ordering food, for example, 1 in 1,000 bowl, let's say if you ordered a bowl with rice, we serve it with noodles, right? Yeah. Let's say we have a mistake. I mean, these things happen, right? Yeah. As well. So let's say if we've given you something wrong by mistake, what we end up doing is that we also end up giving, that other food to you. Let's say if you had a bite of the food and you're like, yeah, I had an order for this, right? Then we pack it for you. We tell you to take it back home because we don't want to throw it, right? So people take it, they consume it. We don't charge them for it. We obviously apologize as well, but these problems happen. So we still pack it for them. They take it home and they consume it or do whatever they want with it. So yeah.
That is an amazing way to actually prevent the food wastage because that happens a lot with a lot of restaurant chains as well. And it is very important for every restaurant chain to understand this cycle and to try to avoid it as well. So I'm so happy that Tiger Yaki actually contributes to it. So speaking of financial decisions, what was the first and the biggest financial decision that you've ever made? And looking back, do you still think that that was like a good decision that you make?
Is this personally or is this with Tiger, you're saying?
It's personal.
Okay, I think, I did invest money in stocks during COVID. I made a lot of money off that for sure. I probably would have put in more money if I knew the world is going to be fine, because at a point it was really scary as well, because there was no clarity on what's and where the world is headed, right? So yeah, I mean, for me it would be probably investing more in stocks back in the days is my only regret, but I mean I can't be greedy as well, so it's fine. Yeah.
So apart from the food industry, do you have any other hobbies or any other passion that interests you a lot?
I mean, I go surfing twice a year. That's there. I love any water sports that I do. I love traveling also a lot. Been doing that probably twice a year. Again, and I kind of travel in a way where, let's say if I'm surfing, it's from like a 6 a.m. to an 8 a.m. which is my non-operational hours in the restaurant as well. So, you know, I'm kind of working during hours when, I don't have to be working and stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, I would say it's surfing for now, and also it's cycling and a couple of other sports. It's badminton and all these things that keep happening. Yeah.
That is amazing. So apart from all the numbers that is ever to do with a restaurant, how do you feel like that you've created a space where people actually come in and have their beautiful life memories happen in this room of like 4 walls?
I mean, it sounds very nice, of course, but it's a lot of responsibilities because we're bootstrapped. There's no funding that's come externally, right? So and we're not like rich. We're not from rich families, right? Neither is Rahul, neither is me as well, right? So for us, it's a big risk. So I mean, I would just say that it's not. I mean, it is fun, of course, on the outside, but it's a lot of responsibilities on the backside where I also have to be sure that okay, you know, what we're doing, what decision we're making, is going to come back in a particular way.
Right. That is amazing. So looking up to you, there's a lot of students that actually look up to young co-founders, young owners of such brands, and having it into the food category is also very, it's a niche category to per se, because everybody kind of somewhere has this one interest for food items, but they're not exactly sure when they look up at a business that, oh, do I ever want to start with like a food brand? So it's actually really inspiring and really amazing to listen to whatever you're saying right now, because being bootstrapped, not focusing more on marketing, not spending much on that as well. So it's amazing, honestly, and I feel a lot of people and a lot of students that are actually watching this interview will look up to what you've just said. That is truly amazing. Okay, so what has been like the most memorable customer feedback that like any customer has ever like given to you that has like stayed with you till date?
So if I can recall, this was at Ed Sheeran again. Funny thing is that we had a line of like 200 people just for ordering, and that's a lot. And when Ed Sheeran was on the stage singing, I was expecting that no one's going to be at the food court because, you know, you've paid for the headline artist and then you're also not there, which is funny, right? So when Ed Sheeran went on, and also I'm not saying when went on immediately, I didn't expect people there. I mean, they were sleeping and they left after that, right? It was 1 hour into Ed Sheeran. People are still there in a line, ordering food from us, and I was asking them, I'm like, okay, guys, you're here for the artist. He's on stage. You've paid an amount. You've gotten in for free. I don't care, but the main artist is on stage. They're like, yeah, we can hear him here also. We want to enjoy it with your food. And I was like, whoa, that's deep. I was like, wow, that's like really cool and stuff, right? So I was like, this is something for us to learn on as well. But I mean, yeah, that was really shocking. I was like, okay, guys, I mean, the main artist is on stage. You really have to go listen to him and stuff. And even I was gonna go join, of course, but then there were people at the stall, so I couldn't leave the stall also, which is fine. That's completely fine. But that was like a very cool thing for me. I was like, wow, this is so much to learn from and stuff, yeah.
So having all the loyalty from the customer is probably all you want as a restaurant owner, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, that is amazing. So with that, we have a fun this or that segment that we're going to do. I just have 5 questions. I don't want to trouble you with a line of questions. So to start with, choose between sushi or ramen.
I'd say sushi, but we're launching ramen in a week. So like subtle sales plug-in is what I would call it. So I'd say ramen right now, yeah.
Okay, no marketing money into it. All right. So the second question is traditional Japanese or Indian desi?
Indian desi for me.
And what is it that you prefer in Indian desi? The utmost favorite that you have? Butter chicken?
Yeah, I was like, I've said it too many times. Should I say something else? But I think I'll say butter chicken, yes.
Okay, you can play safe with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So sweet or savory?
Savory for me. I'm not a sweet tooth.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you just mentioned it before as well. Just palada paisa.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So food trucks or food festivals?
Food festivals any day. We've not had a food truck, so I don't think I want to roam around in a food truck at random areas because Bombay is huge. Food festivals are fun.
So what was your favorite food festival? The H&M one?
No, I would say Lollapalooza was the fun one. I think the one that's also coming will be really fun, yeah.
Looking forward to that as well.
Yeah.
So apart from all the food related questions, so travel or staycation?
I would say vacation, but chalo, I would probably here say staycation, yeah.
Okay, that is interesting. So that was the 5 questions that we had for this and that segment. Okay, Karan, so how did you develop the passion for exactly the Korean and Japanese industry, and why didn't you think about exploring other industries, or are you still on the idea of exploring other industries?
No, we're going to be sticking to this cuisine for sure. I think this credit goes to Rahul, of course, because he's researched on it really heavily as well. And also my other partner Akshay at Jiffy, he's also, I mean, we have Jiffy, that's also a ramen brand, right? That's a healthier ramen brand, right? So they've done their homework, they've done their research, they've put in all their hard work and all their, I would say, gut feeling as well into making sure that what they're kind of researching and executing is what makes sense. So that's what we will be sticking to for a while. Of course, there's a lot of cuisines that we are not looking, like a lot of dishes we're not looking into right now, which we will be launching. Like sushi is also in the roadmap for us as well. So yeah, I mean, as time and as growth comes in, we will be launching new stuff. And you'll also see smaller outlets at Tiger Yaki because we're a QSR, right? We don't want to be a fine dining, we don't want to do all of that. So yeah.
So Korean and Japanese food industry, if you actually observe, it has a lot to do with the non-vegetarian segment. So is it like hard to launch the vegetarian aspect as well to it, because there are a lot of ingredients like fish sauce per se that goes behind to make a dish to actually make it taste authentic. So do you have the hardships while working with the dishes?
Not really. Yeah, we have equal amount of. I think it's a 60-40 for us. 60 is non-veg, 40 is veg for us. Because we're able to source vendors, we're working with good vendors as well. We're able to source whatever we need for us to launch a particular dish. Other than that, we don't see any hardships as such, honestly.
Okay, that is interesting. So, what is like the one chaotic moment that you had in the Tiger Yaki's kitchen that has stayed with you till date?
I think this was again Lollapalooza because it was our first big festival last year because we're also a new brand, right? And I'm not a food background guy, like not a restaurant background guy, right? We had around 110 orders pending. In one go, and we had like 100 people asking for their orders, and we were just clueless. I'm not clueless, we were obviously serving the food, but then there was again no line. People randomly were like, I'm shouting a dish's name or a person name, someone else would take their food and all that. So yeah, that was chaotic, but we sorted that out. I mean, yeah, of course we had to, but yeah, those were fun days. Yeah.
So as Finanza is a financial and entrepreneurial festival, so we have a lot of students in the finance segment, finance sectors that are actually studying in the finance related studies they're pursuing them. So what is the advice that you would actually give them what is it that you would prefer, a 9-to-5 job or like an entrepreneurial field that you're into?
I mean, it goes on what your goals are. Yeah? I mean, I have a lot of friends who are happy with a 9-to-5. They don't want that hustle. They don't want to have sleepless nights is what I would call it. They don't want to take those risks, of course, because entrepreneur also is, I mean, it's a tough journey, right? Like you have to say bye to a lot of things. It sounds very easy. It's just something you're probably hearing me and you're probably thinking कि हाँ ठीक है ये तो सब बोलते हैं, but again it goes down to what you want in life. If you're getting a good placement, you wanna like learn something as well, but also don't go start your own thing before you learn something on someone else's money, right? So go work somewhere, understand how they're working, understand the processes, understand losses, understand a lot of things from there. And then probably once you're confident, once you know you've made the right connects, once you've saved up some amount of money, you have a comfortable backing or whatever it is, right, is when you take the jump. If you take the jump before, and then you won't either do well here, neither will you get a 9-to-5 job later. So yeah.
So what is the advice that you would give to students who are actually looking forward to get into the food segment? So what is the advice?
I mean, it's a very generic advice. It's not any rocket science. I would just say that build a brand where people talk for you. Is what I'd call it. Nothing more than that. It's great to have people organically come in and compliment your food, compliment the brand, compliment everything that you've been working on as well. So yeah, just work on that. You will not spend anything on marketing. Word of mouth is the strongest form of marketing, right? So stick to something on those lines. It's a slower growth, but the second you hit that, sustainable growth is where you're also happy.
Right. That is amazing. I think we've had an amazing set of answers coming from you. And I think everybody that is going to watch this video is going to enjoy and actually learn something from this video. And so that pretty much sums up our interview for today. We're so delighted. We're really happy that you came on board and you gave this interview for us. And I'm so sure everybody, all the students that are watching, are looking forward to actually pursue something as well after hearing all of your answers. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you so
on board
much.
with us today.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Karan.